We want to show you how to play around with a CDF function in Google Sheets. What we're doing in Google Sheets, very, very similar to how you would do all this stuff in Excel. Like in Desmos, it's not particularly easy to go and create a visualization of the CDF. It can be done, but it takes some doing. It's not where we need you to be right now, but we do want to give you a sense of the power of these CDFs, even if we're not creating them visually, how we would go about using them. So we're going to give you two examples. One, using a continuous probability distribution known as the exponential distribution, and another known as the normal distribution, the famous bell curve. Here we have this situation. There's some event of interest to us, and on average, this event occurs 1.2 times a day. And I'm kind of asking myself, well, I wonder how long it's going to be before I see this event occur again, the next time. How much time will it be? How many days will it be? I'm convinced that this particular phenomenon follows an exponential distribution. So what I do is I head over and I put in equals expon.dist and then parentheses, C4 gives the value of X that interests me. Like, hey, what's the probability that I will witness this event within 4.00 days. C3 is the long-term average, that average rate of the event's occurrence, which is 1.2 times per day. And then finally, I put this true. Now the true is what tells Google Sheets, hey, they want a CDF value. If I put in false, it would give me a PDF value. Google Sheets pops this out at me. It says, hey, if this event follows an exponential distribution and it occurs on average 1.2 times a day, then you have a 99.2% chance of experiencing or witnessing that event within the next 4 days. Well, what if I'm interested in, what's the probability that I'll see it within the next 2 days? Well, there's a 90.9% chance that you'll see it within the next 2 days. Well, how about 3/4 of a day, 18 hours? There's a 59.3% chance that you're going to see this event occur again within the next 18 hours. You get the idea. As you change the average rate, it changes the probability. If I move it up and say, hey, on average, this event occurs twice a day, well, now there's a 77.7% chance that I'm going to see this event occur within the next 18 hours or 0.75 days. So that is a really nice, quick use of the CDF, and we invite you to head on in with the Google link and take a look and try that out yourself. Also, we have the famous normal distribution. And in this case, I'm kind of monitoring my Spotify listening habits. And Spotify tells me I listen to the program 15 hours a week. And then my average deviation of my time, the time away from the average, is 2.5 hours. So sometimes more, sometimes less, but on average, 2.5 hours. And so I want to know, hey, what's the probability, if I believe that my listening habits follow a normal distribution with these two, critical assumptions, then what's the probability that on any given week I'll listen to as many as 18 hours? Well, what I do is now, instead of expon.dist, I'm using norm.dist because I believe that my listening habits follow the normal distribution. I put in the 18 for the 18 hours because that's what interests me. Then I put in the mean, which is 15 hours. Then I put in what's called the standard deviation, which is 2.5 hours. And then once again, true, because I'm dealing with a CDF, not a PDF. And Google Sheets tells me, you know what, there is an 88.5% chance that on any given week, given all these assumptions, that you will listen to as many as 18 hours of Spotify. Now, if I change my average, and instead of 15 hours, I only listen 12 hours, well, then there's a 99.2% chance that I will listen to as many as 18 hours. If I say, I'm only interested in what's the likelihood that I would listen to as many as 7 hours? Well, there's really only a 2.3% chance that I would listen to as many as 7 hours, which is to say there's a really good chance that I would listen to more than 7 hours, given the distribution and given what I have told Google Sheets about my listening habits. Anyhow, that is a nice quick primer on how you can make calculations, use the CDF in Google Sheets to help give a sense as to the underlying probabilities.